Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see about தமிழரின் திணைக்கோட்பாடும் சூழலியலும். That is, how Tamil people have classified the lands and how they have also understood about the ecology is only what we are going to see now. That is, in Tamil people lifestyle, they have classified land according to its nature. And how they understood this nature of the land in those days itself is a very great information for all of us, which we have to feel proud about. Tolkappiyar has mentioned these lands, that is, there are 5 types of land like Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Neithal and Palai. And for each land he has said Mudal Porul, Karu Porul and Uri Porul. That is, Mudal Porul means the land and the time. Land is classified as Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Neithal, Palai, and Podudu is time. Time is classified as seasons. Season is summer, winter, spring and autumn, and even day has been classified as morning, afternoon, evening and night. And he speaks about this in Tolkappiyam. He says, முதல் எனப்படுவது நிலம் பொழுது இரண்டின் இயல்பென மொழிப இயல்பு உணர்ந்தோரே. That is, we have to think about land and time. Without this, there is no world. Without this too, there is no action. And even today, we see history based on Kimu and Kipi, that is BC and AD. That is, we are classifying history in this way. And all the world history is written only based on land. And therefore, the whole world is based only on these 3 things. That is, Kalam, Idam and Sayal, time, space and action. And with these 3 things only, we have this Mudal Porul, Karu Porul and Uri Porul, says scholar Save Subramanian. And how they classified these lands into 5 in those days is a great information for all us. Now, when we see nature, we find water becomes vapor from the sea and reaches the clouds. And from there, it falls down as waterfalls in the mountain, and brooks in the forest, and rivers in the plains, and it goes back and joins the sea. So from where it started, it goes there itself, and this is nature. And based on the land, Tamil people have classified the land as mountainous region, forest region, plains and seaside. And these are the lands which are not only in Tamil Nadu, all over the world. And they say that these 4 places are suitable places for living beings to live. And your lifestyle will also depend on the land in which you live. And according to the land, the plants will differ, the animals, the birds, and even the people will live according to that ecosystem, which is known as Sudal Togupugal. And how they classified these lands also comes under this song. மாயோன் மேய காடுரை உலகமும் சேயோன் மேய மைவரை உலகமும் வேந்தன் மேய தீம்புணல் உலகமும் வருணன் மேய பெருமணல் உலகமும் முல்லை குறிஞ்சி மருதம் நெய்தல் என சொல்லிய முறையால் சொல்லளவும் படுமே. That is, for each land they have even given a god. Like Mayon Meya Kadure Ulakam means Mayon is Sirval, and this is forest and forest regions. This is known as Mullai Nilam. And Seyon Meya Maivare Ulagam is Seyon is Lord Muruga, and it is said that he is a god for mountainous region, and mountainous regions are called as Kurunji Nilam. And Vendan Meya Neempunal Ulagam, Vendan is Indran, he is a god for the lands which come under Marudanilam. Marudanilam are plains. And Varunan Meya Perumanal Ulagam, Varunan is the god of rain, and therefore all the seas will come under this Varunan Meya Perumanal Ulagam, and that is called as Neithal Ulagam. Now this Kadure Ulagam, Maivare Ulagam, Teempunal Ulagam and Perumanal Ulagam are all mentioned in Tolkappiyam. And according to these lands, how they have got their name is, they chose the flowers which are prominent in these places, and they named these lands as Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam and Neithal. And this environment, when it gets spoilt, when the nature changes its characteristics, that becomes Palai Nilam, that is desert region, says Silappadigaram. That is, Mullayum, Kurunjiyum முறைமையின் திரிந்து நல்லியல்பு இழந்து நடுங்கு துயர் உறுத்து பாலை என்பதோர் படிவம் கொள்ளும். That is, when முல்லை and குறிஞ்சி, when they lose their natural environment, that will change into desert region, says this song. And even Tolkappiyar has mentioned desert region, that is Palai, as Naduvan Thinai. And he says that the god for this Palai Nilam is Kottravai, says Ilam Puranara. நடுவன் ஐந்தினை நடுவனம் தொழிய படுத்திரை வையம் பாத்திய பண்பே. That is, படுத்திரை வையம் means the world is surrounded with water. பாத்திய பண்பே, that is, they have classified land as குறிஞ்சி முல்லை மருதம் நெய்தல். And நடுவன் ஐந்தினை means among these four comes பாலை, that is, there is no separate land as desert region. When these lands lose their natural environment, they will become desert region. And here they have not mentioned as Tamil Nadu, they have mentioned as Vayam, because this is what is applicable to all the land which is in the whole world, says Tolkappiyam. And they, based on these 5 types of land only, lifestyle of the people also will change. And for all these 5 lands, they have given Mudal Porul, Karu Porul and Uri Porul. And even the way of living, that is cultural ecology, Panpadu Suriyal, also changes according to the land in which the people live. And even the biodiversity of the living beings, that is the Uirina, that is a classification of what all animals and what all living beings will be there, depends on these lands. And these information were noted by the Tamil people in those days itself. This we come to know from Tolkappiyam. And all the mountainous regions are known as Kurinji Shural Tuguppu, and all the forest regions are known as Mullai Shural Tuguppu, and all the plain regions are known as Marudam Shural Tuguppu, and all the seaside regions are known as Neithal Shural Tuguppu. And when Mullai and Kurinji change from their natural environment, it becomes Palai Shural Tuguppu. And all these 5 lands have 14 types of Karuporutkal, says Tamil people. And this they have observed and they have registered in literature. And when we see these 14 types of Karuporul, the main ones are birds, animals, water, flowers, trees, food and their profession. These are the main among the 14. And this depends on the land in which the people live. And when we see, we find that mountain, river, sea, forest, trees, plants, animals and birds, they all will be depending on the natural environment, and that is how they are found. But the feelings of human beings like love, loss, sadness, happiness, all these feelings are also written in literature based on these lands. That is, these lands will be compared to the feelings of human beings, and that is what we find. Like suppose the Talaivan and Talavi are separated, then that sorrow of separation is compared to Palai Nilam, that is desert region. And when we talk about the water bodies, generally in literature we find it is said to be the places where gods live, because they are the life-giving elements. Thurai Evan Anangu Yamutra Noye comes in Aingurunuru. Here the Tori is telling to Talaivan, Tori is the friend of Talaivi, she is telling God is not giving us any harm. You told us lie and you went to another person, and because of that only Talaivi is suffering. And here the Tori tells that you have gone into immoral activity, you have relationship with another person, and this is what is made the Talaivi sad, and now she is suffering. And in this way the Tori points out to the mistake or to the moral character of the Talaivan. Arundir Kadavul Allan Perundurai. Here we find this in Tiruvasagam. And here Manikvasar says that God is not in a place where we cannot reach him. And God has come to Tirumperundurai only to take me along with them, says Manikavasagam. And here he shows that how much God is showing his compassion towards him. And all this shows that near the water bodies, generally they associated with gods. And Anangudai Munnir is, see, water has immense power, and that power actually can give human beings a lot. It can even destroy them, and therefore we say Anangudai. Anangudai means it has like god-like qualities, and at the same time it can also mean destructive nature. Munnir means so much of strength is there in water. Perunthurayin parapin amarndu urai anango. That is, here the Talavan is saying Talavi, and is thinking that gods all will be very happy to be in the water bodies. And Anangoni, are you a goddess like that? This is what the Talavan is asking Talavi, because he sees her and looking at her, he has this question in his mind. Kadal Kedu Selvi, that is, are you the goddess who will be in the water? Here, this Talavan is expressing his love for the Talavi, and it is the separation period. And all these are mentioning gods in these songs. And the people had certain beliefs in those days. That is, they believed that if people tell lies or if they do not keep up their words, nature will change. That is, there will be no rain, and all the water bodies will drain and there will not be water. And therefore, in order to have a very peaceful relationship with nature, they worshipped forest, they worshipped trees, they worshipped mountains, they worshipped all the water bodies, rain, and even snake. And this habit is there even till date. And in those days, food played a very important part, and therefore they destroyed the forests to make it as agricultural land. And accordingly, for that they dug ponds, and they dug many ponds, and around the ponds they planted trees. And in order to bring water to the ponds, they made canals, and even wastelands were made into agricultural land. And in order to irrigate those lands, they dug wells. And it was believed that those people who do all these 5 things will go to heaven, and this we find registered in Sirupanjamolama. And people in those days knew how to appreciate nature, how to live along with nature. And even though they know the destructive power of water, they understood that water is one among the 5 elements which form the world, and that is why they knew the importance of water. And Tirukural has registered it as Neerindri Amayadu Ulagu. That is, there is no world without water. And along with the 5 elements, the importance of water was understood by ancient Tamil people. And the food also depended on which land they lived, and what was available there only became their food. And when we see the Karuporul, we said there are 14 Karuporuls, and first comes God, and next to God comes food. And according to the land in which they lived, whatever plants and animals were available in those lands became their food. That is, the people who lived near the sea had fish as their food, and the people who lived in the mountains had the animals which they hunted as their food. And in Marudam and Mullai, they had the agricultural products as their food. And mentions of Aatrupadai. In Aatrupadai books, we find detailed information about all these landscape and the food and the living beings and the way of life these people lived. Like when the poets are going to meet the king to get prizes, they go across Kurunji, Mullai, Marudam, Neithal, Palai lands. And as they are going, they note down the details of this land and about the lifestyle of the people who are living in this land, their food, their habitat, and what are their habits, the living beings in that place, the plants in that place. And all these form the culture of these people, and all these are mentioned in our ancient literature. And ancient people grew millets as their food. And millets like Varagu, Tinai, Sami, Kelvaraga are even recommended nowadays by doctors. They say that these are the healthy food, and therefore we have to take these as our food nowadays. And all over the world, it is turning towards natural agriculture. That is, organic farming is becoming the momentum of today. and our ancient people have followed this in those days, and whatever they had done in those days is now getting back to our lifestyle. It is gaining momentum, shows the great knowledge which our Tamil people had in ancient time. And this is what we have seen in this video. If you have anything more to add into what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.